Hello, this is Gamerboy talking to you on GB Gaming, where video games come first. And I want to talk about the state of play that occurred last night on the 25th of March, 2019. By the way, I'm very sick, so my voice is going to be a little bit croaky and I might cough every now and then, so please bear with me. I actually made a video a few hours, about 6 hours before this state of play was due to start, and I made a video of predictions of announcements and things that I wanted to see, and that ranged from more footage on The Last of Us 2, Death Stranding footage, games that we might not know a lot about but wanted to see more of. And in a nutshell, we didn't get any of that, not even close. What we did get was an abundance of VR titles, and I'm going to count them. Out of about 11 announcements, I think, or 10 announcements, I think we got 5 VR titles. Now, and don't get me wrong, I'm not an advocate against VR. I just don't think VR is quite there yet. I mean, the games that they've been bringing out are probably good, they look good, but it still seems like a gimmick to me. So I'll be honest, it was a bit kind of refreshing to see something like Iron Man and No Man's Sky come out for VR. No Man's Sky in VR is something I've always been curious about with the idea. It's always been something that I thought this game would look good in VR. But sadly, I am actually not interested in VR that much. I'm not interested in the €400 price point of VR because it still looks like a gimmick. And all these VR games and VR exclusives and VR additions to games all just seem like fun VR games. It's kind of like that. It's fun because it's in VR, and I'll be honest, I'd be quite scared to play something VR in case I got motion sickness. Now, I don't get motion sickness for anything else, but the amount of times I've heard people say that they're sick when they use VR, I don't really want to spend €400 to discover that. So I'll wait until a huge price drop on VR, or when they bring out a new version of VR, the original version would be dropped in price heavily. But €300 to €400 for VR is not something I'm willing to pay. But I digress. What I was kind of happy to see was more footage of the Crash Team Racing remaster remake that's coming out. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, there are games here that I'm quite intrigued to see, such as Days Gone. I didn't look at too much of the trailer because I'm kind of the person that if I want to see a game properly, I want to see someone play it first before I decide if the game's worth playing. Trailers don't do that much for me. They're made to hype the player up. All in all, the state of play was a little bit underwhelming, and initially I was really annoyed about it, saying, "Oh, so this is what they skipped E3 for. This was Sony's big breakaway from E3, and this is all the shows. More like state of VR." Do you know what I mean? But now that the smoke has cleared, now that I've had time to sit and think, I think I realised that this is their first foray into this format, into this style of announcing games and content. And I think what we need to do is we need to wait until nearer E3 time, between the end of May and the middle of June. Maybe they'll come up with a second episode of State of Play, and maybe it will show more of what we actually want to see, such as The Last of Us 2, such as Death Stranding. Maybe we'll get announcements of the PSN name change mechanic that they were supposed to be adding in, that's supposed to be going into beta but hasn't quite. I haven't really heard much of it since, so I don't know if it's been fully realised. And there's other things that I would like to see, such as the PlayStation Now subscription service getting an upgrade so that we can play PS3 games without needing to stream it. In other words, download it to your hard drive a la Xbox Games Pass and play them without needing an internet. Well, play them without needing to stream it, basically. That's something I would love to see, because there's a lot of games on the PS3 that I would love to play, but not have to go out and buy the copy and play it on the PS3 and have all this awkward two consoles. I mean, I've got an abundance of consoles sitting here because the PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility, and it's a pain in the backside, to be brutally honest. But as it stands, the state of play was a little underwhelming, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully within the next episode, it will be a lot better, and we will actually see games and announcements that we actually have been looking for. I think this was them just testing the waters. I have to say though, that test did not go well with YouTube viewers, especially people that went onto the official PlayStation YouTube page and went to watch the state of play. The likes and dislike ratio was astounding. At the minute, as I print this screenshot, it is 3.8 thousand likes and 10,000 dislikes. That's how bad this state of play appears to be. But like I said, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Although, actually, there was one game that did catch my eye, and I was kind of interested in seeing it. Because I don't think it was a VR game. I didn't see anything remotely VR about it. But the game was called, was it Concrete Genie? Yes, Concrete Genie. I'm quite interested in Concrete Genie. I don't think it's a VR game. It doesn't look like one. But I'm very much interested in seeing more of these kind of games come up. These unique, independent projects that come to fruition. And they always look amazing. And they always play amazing, but unfortunately they go under the radar and we forget all about them. So I'm hoping Concrete Genie gets a good reputation, and I hope that it actually gains a bit of a following, because I think that the game looks absolutely fantastic. It's a very strange looking game, I have to admit. It's coming out in fall 2019, so we're a good bit away from it. Maybe a demo will be released, I'm not sure. That was my opinion, my take on the PlayStation State of Play. Wasn't what we expected. I was initially annoyed, and I was initially lambasting Sony for their lack of content that we wanted to see, but now that the smoke is cleared, I'm not a child, I'm an adult. I can look at it for what it is, and I can expect that maybe it will improve on the next episode. On the next episode of State of Play. It is Sony's first foray into this style of announcing games and trailers, but we'll see what else they have in store closer to June or May or whenever E3 rolls around. I think that'll be a good time to unleash all your biggest projects and basically show all your cards at once. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. Thanks for watching this random vlog that I don't normally do, but if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. I've got more content here, I've got more content on the way. So thanks very much for watching. This has been Gamerboy talking to you on GB Gaming, where video games come first. Thanks again, and I'll see you whenever I see you. See you later.